Joining me now for more on equitable distribution of palliatives is the head of Property Law Department based University, Abuja. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7. Abuja is not the first location that would embark on a distribution of palliatives to people in the face of the pandemic. But in places where this has been done, there have been complaints that these measures are actually not getting to the people for whom it is meant. How effective or efficient do you see these strategies adopted by the Federal Capital Territory?
Well, I think it won't be efficient because what we are seeing today is the underdeveloped character of our governance institution. Basically, the fact that we don't even have data, we don't know who our citizens are. Local areas, we know that we would think that they have a database for the households, their earning power, those who are job, and so on and so forth. We don't have that. Again, usually politicians have distributed reliefs through political channels, and those channels are discriminatory because they are political. Now that you're dealing with civic concern in time of emergency, you need to deal with neutral database, and unfortunately, we don't have that across the state. So you're going to have people improvise, and what we are seeing now with what the Minister of State has said is a case of trying to do the best with what you have. So they have a sense of 1,000, 100 households they want to reach. Who are these households? Because Abuja is more than that. So that means in each of the area council, they're going to select selectivity. So we like the criteria, the data to select who should benefit. And so what we're going to have at the end of the day is that we would have spent so much, but perhaps we have not got those who actually need this relief. So it will be a case of inefficiency, inadequacy, and we just pray it doesn't lead to protestation, riots, and then undermine the strategic vision and goal of this relief, which is to ensure good lockdown.
Indeed, Dr. Amadi, the issue of data has been a persistent issue of concern. How do you think we can maximize this opportunity to begin to get this right so that we have the right data and we're able to maximize it when it's needed?
Absolutely. There has been talk about a comprehensive national data bank, which is like converging the road safety data with the banks, BVN, and all that, and creating a single data bank. But of course, it's too late now while we're in a tragedy. But the takeaway from this is that we can use, for example, people have talked about the top of the MTN, the telecom, they have good data with those who have a bigger concentration of telecom users than we have with banking, bank customers. So we can actually use that as a proximate and probative approach to getting at the real data. But the problem is, look, we just failed to get the most basic data. Education, household, these are things should be done at the local level. And the failure of local governance in terms of quality and engagement with the people is what we are reaping. So we would expect that while the government officials, state governors are trying to guess, they're doing the guess game now. But after this crisis, because this will not be the last pandemic, we saw pandemic with SARS, we're going to be living with microbes fighting us. We need to now sit down and create a database. We use National Bureau of Statistics, but their database are more with consumer welfare and pricing and all that. We need a database about people, where they are, addresses, so that in time of national emergency, we know who to get to, we know who to help, and we know who can help. It's critical, but that failure shows that if we lose this game against the coronavirus, we're doing well in terms of those who are recovering from it, but if we lose it because we didn't have governance structure that enable us to have a good lockdown while local people work.
Indeed. And in the midst,
while the policy
indeed, Dr. Amadi, and in the midst of the lockdown, while there are efforts to ensure people maintain social distancing, there will also be concerns about the modality of giving out these palliatives, because more often than not, you find people on queues, everyone together, without necessarily maintaining the 6 feet distance as a measure given by the authorities.
Absolutely. So that is the real crisis here. Now, if we had a clear database, we know where people are living. So in the morning you wake up, you will see that half bag of rice and condiments at your door, because the area council knows exactly that this person whose income is below this national average lives in number XYZ of district. So we don't need to have the pandemonium you see every day. People struggling, even a minister coming with cash on the table. These are, when we look at cash, it's a a means of transmission. So basically,
Dr.
we are
Amadi.
undermining our effort.
Indeed, we'll have to leave the conversation here. Dr. Sam Amadi, Head, Department of Property Law, Based University, Abuja.